NWA, Cypress Hill, many people said it. Yo, we've been dealing with this for a long time. We said it was going to happen. So now we're going to get into the 90s. I'm just going to rap right now. Hey, yo, I skipped it, dog. This is a song. All right, check it. Yeah, yo, easy. This is the Diamond D track, man. My name is KV. I'm picking in every verse, man. I'm a real MC. It's kinda dope how I do it. Background and vocal. I told you on this microphone, I'm really getting local. Kick a freestyle rhyme, sitting in your chair. And when I grab this mic, I'm about to spark it and I'm glad. I'm everywhere, like here, standing on the corner. I'm telling you, wanna battle me? I'm about to warn you. It's easy, rapping like this no one time. We kick a funky rhyme, yes, it's coming from the mind. That's it. So, what did y'all notice now? Yeah, I was freestyling though. Yeah, but well, people say in rap music, old school, new school, but the 90s is what really sparked off even the way we rap today. The 90s was the beginning of that. The 90s that's when rap now, I have to say it, which I skipped that. 79 Rappers Delight put rap on the map everywhere. Before the song Rappers Delight, rap was only confined to New York. More so even the Bronx. Rap on the West Coast, people were into funk. In the hood, people were into funk. It was funk. And even within the regions of the West Coast, it had different kinds of funk. Like up here in the Bay, it was like Tower of Power, Pointer Sisters, all that. Down there in LA, all the gangsters, they was playing like Roger and Sapp, George Clinton, Parliament, all of those things, right? People on the West Coast, if you in the 80s, according to hieroglyphics, MCA, all of them, they'll say, yeah, in the 80s, especially the early mid-80s, if you was running around talking about you were rapping, people looked at you like a nerd. Like, you rap, you nerd, get away from here. And if you see them, and who's seen the movie Compton? Okay, so remember when Dre was first in the club and Ice Cube, their original manager, when they were world-class record crew, was like, no, don't play all that rap stuff. What are you talking about, man? We trying to get money and get people to dance. That rap stuff is that weird music. Get that out of here. Right? So at first, in the West Coast, rap didn't resonate within the actual community. When Rappers Delight came out, it was like, oh snap, what is this? I said a hip-hop, oh, did you hear what he just said? So that's what made it popular. But if we fast forward to now, the way that I just did it in the 90s is what you pretty much hear now. It's pretty much, now it's just people switching up styles, switching up cadences. People started coming out of different regions since it was everywhere. You got people from Atlanta, Outkast, Goody Mob. You started seeing people from Texas, Scarface, Ghetto Brother, like all of that, right? You started seeing people from Chicago coming out, like who these with their own styles, their own language. The West Coast, especially the Bay, had a big influence. Hieroglyphics, Dale, you know what I'm saying? Like Too Short, Dangerous Dame. Dangerous Crew, Rap and Rhyme. The West Coast had their stuff. LA had their stuff, and they had even other stuff like Freestyle Fellowship coming out, Far Side coming out with just different styles. New York, you started seeing people in New York coming like leaders of the new school and Organized Confusion with styles where it's like, hey man, we not in the hood. I'm not Boogie Down Productions Criminal Minded with a Uzi on the cover. I'm not Rakim and Eric B with hella gold chains and the biggest, the original 50 Cent, the biggest robber and gangster in New York as my best friend. No, I'm De La Soul, I'm Tribe Called Quest, I'm leaders of the new school, we're native tongues. We're just a bunch of school kids. We just go to school, we goof off in school, cut class, spitballs at people, and wear hippie looking shirts and talk about teenage stuff and have fun. And that's what brought a new style into rap. MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, Moni Love, Yvette, all of these people came out like, yo, we have a whole different style, and that's what changed the way of rap. So now that's what we see so many different things in rap. Now, what we see in rap nowadays, that's a whole different discussion. That's a whole different class. Yeah,
We ain't there yet.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
What blows my mind, and I'm not sure maybe it's blowing your mind too, is Kev talked about this evolution of rap, but then pinpointing it to the break and how much it has evolved and changed. When Kool Herc first was playing parties, it wasn't for the MC. The MC's job was just to get on the mic and tell someone to go move their car, or just to get the crowd to interact with the DJ, right? And it has evolved from that, and Herc was just catering to the b-boys by playing the breaks. And then the rappers came in the game, and the breaks evolved, and it wasn't like so much of that, but it slowed down depending on region, the music changed. And so from a Cindy and Herc started at 1522 Sedgwick Avenue in the South Bronx. And Kevin's talking about Oakland, New York, LA. Then you got folks in the South, in Texas, in Florida. And now we're talking about trap in Japan and in Korea. And you got rappers in South, all over the world. The Philippines, there's rappers, there's dance crews, there's b-boy events all over the world. And it has to start with the break. If it wasn't for the break, there would be no Lil Yachty. There would be no SOB. Maybe there would be, but maybe it could be something else. But the break is the big bang of hip hop. And I want to just let y'all know, like, don't forget about Cindy Campbell, because she doesn't get brought up a lot when it comes to, if you look at the textbook, Cindy's name is barely mentioned. It's always Kool Herc. But Kool Herc, when it never got his platform, it wasn't for Cindy throwing that party. We have about a minute left. Are there any questions? Anyone want to bring up anything? Yeah.
I just wanted to piggyback on what you're talking about as far as Clyde and his sister. Before he had anybody getting on the mic, he was an MC. In fact, you can't talk on the mic if you want to be a DJ nowadays. You either better hire a wordsmith or you better figure out how to get over your stage right, because not only are you pushing the groove, you're also interacting with the party. So it's like, he probably wasn't going, yes, yes, y'all. He was like, maybe he would see one of his dudes that he knows was like up to no good, selling some drugs or something like that, and saying, you know, I can't call you out and say that you are selling drugs, but you know who I'm talking to. And he could do that over the break. So it's like, he was an MC too. Don't get it twisted. If you're a DJ, you have to get on a mic. And if you don't have a mic, you could also just flip your headphones over and talk into those.
And if you were a DJ and you didn't have a great voice, like Grandmaster Flash, he was like, oh, I don't have a great voice. I don't have good speaking presence. But my man Melly Mel does.
This is true.
And let me give Melly Mel the mic so he can do that for me. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Does anyone want to try to get up here and extend the break?
Yeah, come on.
And grab the microphone.
And grab the microphone. It's up to you. No pressure. Just saying if anyone wants to come up
It's
here.
not hard.
Come on, 3873 right now.
All you gotta do is just rhyme cat with a hat. Do it on the beat. That's that. You're good. Go ahead. Trust me. Trust me. They do it all the time now, rap music. They even make millions of dollars off it.
Do the green eggs and ham remix.
I do have two plugs in, right? If you want to know what it was like to be at a party in 1973, Kevin and I are throwing an event called Break the Bank, where we play